How to make an art glow. So we have a picture of a girl in the middle of the night. You might want to choose a background that's a little bit darker because things glow in the dark. Now this is the original picture, but we're going to make this hair glow. So I've chosen the green color. We go to the layers panel. We're gonna create another layer here, and then we're going to create a clipping mask. You can use the magic selection tool to select this hair, but I find the clipping mask more useful and more easy. So for this video we'll be using a clipping mask. Now we draw inside the clipping mask. You take the brush layer, you choose soft round brush and a fairly large size. For now it's 165. So, and in opacity we're going to make it about 55. Now it's time to choose the color. So this color we have here. First we're going to take it a little bit down, not too much, just so that you can see the difference. If you go too down, it's bad. Don't do that. Just make it a little bit so that you can barely see the difference. Now in 55 opacity with the soft brush, we're going to paint it. This is the edge of the hair, so we're going to be painting right around the edges. About 2 to 3 times is quite enough, but you can do 1 or 2 more. So we have formed a kind of a little bit of a dark circle around it. And now we choose a different color. We choose a more saturated color. So we go to the right and up, right and up. Okay, same opacity, same brush size. Start from the middle. Now this will be the source of the glow. You can push it back. Okay, again we choose the color. Now this time we're gonna go a little bit more to the right, as saturated as it can get. Right now you won't see much of a difference. You again do it in the middle, by the way. Right now we won't see much of a difference, but it will make a huge impact later on. Now again the color. This time we will be going towards a wider shape. A little bit wider. As you can see, it was here. Now we're choosing this. And bring down the opacity a little bit more. Make 1. Now increase the opacity. There we go. Now don't be hasty, just keep going wider, increasing the opacity. Just make sure you don't do too much of it. Okay, so now from this, take the color in the middle. Okay, and we're going to paint it with the same brush, same opacity, right outside the edges. Okay, there we have it. Now we go to the layers panel. We're going to create a layer right below the hair layer. Remember, this should be below hair glow. This will be our main glow. So for the color, we'll be again choosing the middle color. Now we're going to draw outside of this hair. Just once is enough. Now we increase the brush size fairly large, decrease the opacity right about there, 25 to 30%. Then we push it like so. Then we again choose the color. This time we will be going a little bit more saturated towards the right. Press OK and reduce the brush size. Increase the opacity again up to 50%. And just around the edges, make sure you don't go too far. It should be just around the edges. And don't worry if this is going to block our outlines, because we will solve that just in a little bit. Okay, so once or twice is quite enough. As you can see, it's already starting to glow. Okay, so next step is to blur this layer. We can use the blur tool with 100% strength like this, but this will take a little bit of time, so for ease we can go to filter and blur, Gaussian blur, then about 2 pixels we go. Okay, if you want more blur, you can add blur to it, that's not an issue. Now you go to the opacity. For the same layer, we're gonna reduce the opacity up to 80%. There we go. Now if you want less glow, you just reduce the opacity. If you want more glow, you increase the opacity. For now, we'll be taking it around 80%. That's enough. So now we have a little bit of the glow. Just a final touch. For the final touch, we're going to go back to the hair layer on this clipping mask, choose the color, go a little bit more white. Now this one is almost towards the white, so make sure you don't overdo it. This is just only for the final touches. Then you have the brush, soft brush, and about 100 pixels size, and the strength, the brush, sorry about that, yeah, the brush, and opacity around 65%. Then find out which is your source of the lights. For our head, it is the middle, so we're just gonna put a little bit of the dot here, increase the opacity increase the brush size and decrease the opacity. Remember that. Increase the brush size, decrease the opacity. Now just 1, 2, 3. Just a little bit of the depth, and around these edges you see there is a dark circle around here. You can leave it if you like it this way, but it will be better if you push it a little further so that you can barely see it. Now we can barely see the dark circles. So now if I zoom out, there we go. We have a glowing hair. Now you can use this technique in anywhere with any color. The process is same. Use the color first down, then to the saturated point, then for the middle to the white point.